Today, we will be reviewing the GBPUSD Robot MT5 by Marzena Maria Smit. Stick around to the end to see if this is a real expert advisor worth your time or just another MQL5 scam. So this developer is quite a well-known MetaTrader 5 developer who produces quite a few different EAs, which oftentimes find themselves towards the top of the marketplace. And I believe they also run a development company which is able to produce bots for other people on more of like an agency model where you can license their developers to code trading strategies for you. So as an organization, they appear to be very professional, and certain characteristics here, like having an instruction manual in 9 different languages and relatively dedicated support or very dedicated support, all of that speaks to this level of professionalism. But this is a relatively busy sales page, so we can go through it to get a bit of a better indication as to how this bot would work. And here we see that it apparently does not use neither a grid nor a martingale system, and it trades the GBPUSD currency pair specifically. And although it doesn't use a grid or a martingale, if we come here, we can see that it splits an order into 5 small positions with the possibility to spread it out differently. And it doesn't give a ton of indication about what the trigger would be to enter a position, nor the actual filters which guide the strategy. But supposedly it opens positions every day, and as the name would suggest, obviously it trades GBPUSD. And here we can keep going downwards, and we can see that it gives a few different parameters here, such as trading days. You're able to look at some time of day filter, as well as you can add a little bit more customization to these stop losses or take profit. And here we simply see that they have the cover page and a magnificent looking backtest. But there's also no live signal here. So from the sales page, currently we don't have a great indication as to how the strategy works. And there's also really no live signal to verify that this bot is running properly. So it looks like a rather professionally run operation, but we don't have a ton of information to go off of. And because of that, I thought it might be helpful also to just quickly dive into the MT5 terminal, where I've taken the liberty of downloading this EA and running a backtest. And let's quickly go through the inputs tab before really going into detail regarding the results of the backtest. And here they do allow a recovery mode. So although they claim that there's no martingale, recovery mode typically means martingale or some sort of you significantly scale the lot size post loss, and that's often what gives you extremely smooth equity curves. And here, apart from that, is mostly just some different spread filters and some take profit and stop loss parameters, such as pips to break even, pips to move, break even at. All of those factors appear to be related to a trailing stop loss. And if we look at the actual equity curve, we can see a magnificent equity curve. And here in the back test, it's making around 15% of $10,000, so around 1.5 grand in total net profit. So that's quite solid indeed. And here the win rate is absolutely astronomical. So in my mind, this does indicate likely some presence of the recovery mode and perhaps a bit of over-optimization. But there are still some dips here. It's not perfectly smooth, so it doesn't quite appear to be a history reader or a blatant scam. It looks more, at first glance, and I'll want to verify this, but at first glance, it looks more like an over-optimized system with some degree of martingale or recovery factor to it. But really the only way to assess it in detail is to run ourselves a visual backtest so that we're able to perhaps get a little bit more insights how it works. Okay, so this is interesting. So we can see where it's starting to take a few trades. And these appear to be... Okay, more market orders. Interesting. Okay, so it's opening clusters of orders. Let's slow it down a bit. And what I'm looking for here is a lot sizing scaling in the event that it loses. I haven't seen any losses so far, which is, unless I'm missing some. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they have some very, very small losses here, but they're effectively break even. Now let's keep running it to see if some losses appear. I'm trying to also assess the strategy. If we zoom out a bit, there's no grid taking place. It looks almost like a breakout system of sorts, where we're seeing it like at a key level, perhaps like a support and resistance level. It's then entering the position, but there's no true like recovery factor or multiplier here, which is interesting. What it could be doing is it could be opening more positions when it starts to think that a loss might happen. But from what I can see, it's not actually using a grid. It's just opening the same position multiple times and essentially spreading it out across multiple orders in order to avoid slippage. And still no losses, with the exception of those tiny losses. We're not like the 0.1 cents or the 1 cent losses. We're not really seeing anything. It is losing a bit of money to swaps, and it's trading at all different types of the day, so it's not a night scalper. Okay, it's going to finish here in a few seconds, and then we can go through the results in a bit more detail to ascertain how it's trading. Okay, so we have our nice graph here. Let's quickly look at this chart as well. So yeah, it looks like a breakout, but it's timing it almost perfectly. So breakouts, breakout trades, shorts, breakouts. So there might be a real strategy here, because it does at least appear to be like here, see? Breakout, buy. So it does appear to actually have some logic behind the strategy, but it's also not using a recovery mechanism and it's not using a grid. So my takeaway here is that this is simply a heavily over-optimized backtest, because yes, it does appear to have some form of strategy in order to actually take trades, but the results we're seeing with the 99.21% win rate, they'll appear to be a little bit fishy. Also the fact that like they're keeping, like they're spreading it out across multiple trades for not a particularly significant reason. Perhaps like if they were doing a real scalping system or trading with the larger lot size, that would make sense. But trading relatively small size with not overly tight stop losses wouldn't, or to take profits, wouldn't necessarily require that. So it seems to be more of a gimmick. And there's also no live signal. So my key takeaway is there might be a real strategy behind this bot, but from what I can see, the backtests appear heavily over-optimized. There's not a ton of insight as to how it works, and there's no live signal. So I would be very reticent about actually buying this thing. If you are interested, please just wait for a live signal, and that should give you significantly more confirmation as to if this is a real bot or not. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Before you click away, if you're looking to get a real expert advisor, here at Prosperity Algo Solutions, we're currently offering our Golden Time Bomb system based on automating the London breakout and opening range breakout 100% for free. Watch the pinned video to find out more and to get access.